Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna here. Basically, we are discussing another topic that is city creation. City creation, basically, we are discussing another topic that is vitamins, and in vitamins, basically, we are discussing another topic that is design, basically, of the universe. One of the person basically told that this is the thing, basically, which is getting controlled. So, one of the person told that each and every incident, basically, which happens, this topic, basically, each and every incident, basically, which happened and which is going to happen in the world, basically, is connected with the above diagram. The above diagram, basically, which you can see, basically, that is connected with the each and every incidents, basically, are connected with this diagram, basically. Then one of the person told that yes, basically. For example, I will take one example. Assume that basically, mm, I will take live example, basically. That need to do. Assume that basically earthquake, this all earthquake basically happens. So one of the person told that this earthquake basically just now happened, basically. It is connected with water, basically. From this, basically, which was the reason, basically. One of the person basically told, is that possible, basically, that you can track the exact thing, basically. So one of the data science project, basically, group, basically, that is the TCS group, basically, they told that basically that is possible, but that basically we have not integrated, and we have to create that software, basically. Exact thing, basically, you can't say, basically, exactly, basically, data. For example, I will take one example, basically. Assume that basically Italy basically got some earthquake, or basically Indonesia basically got some earthquake, Spain got earthquake. So from this, basically, what are the things basically connected? Is this basically connected with this government stuff, basically incidents? Earthquake, basically, what is that? Basically, we have already discussed. Is it connected with the private system, basically, or is it basically connected with the other system, basically? First, that basically you have to track. Then basically, little bit inside, basically you have to go. Design basically comes later on, basically. Then basically the set of stories basically connects. Then story basically connects with the energy, basically, which was generated in the environment. And then basically the energy which was connected, these all are the data science project, basically. Then according to the energy which was generated, the story basically gets connects. And then basically whatever the incidents, basically whatever the incidents happened with that particular person, basically, assume that basically this earthquake basically happened, that is connected with one of the A positive blood group, basically, A positive blood group person, basically, and that affected the A positive blood group owner also, basically. So due to that, basically, the earthquake basically happened. So just see basically up to what level things basically connects, basically. Things basically connects. If you are not solving the problem, basically. If government or basically private say group, basically, or the other group basically don't solve the problem, basically. So they told that basically it was connected with one of the A positive blood group person, basically, and that person basically was connected with the that basically incidents basically was not solved, so it connected to the A positive blood group owner, basically. So A blood group owner basically started doing the investigation, basically, and if earthquake basically happened, then basically it connects directly to the set of group, basically. It allocates to the set of group, basically. Then basically it allocated to the group, they basically started doing the investigation, they basically connected that this was that person, basically. This was the first they connected with the blood group, basically, blood group owner, basically. Then they connected with the that person, basically, who was the responsible for the earthquake, basically, which was happened. Then basically it connected to his blood data, basically, because whatever incidents happens, basically, whatever people basically you have met, whatever incidents basically you have visited this area, that area, this area, that area, this area, that area, you consume these human needs, you basically generated these whole incidents, basically, you talked with this, you basically have you had basically this conversation, you had that conversation, you basically connected with that girl, you connected with that girl, boy, that you connected with that girl, you connected with that person, basically you connected with that government person, you connected with that group, each and everything basically happened basically. Now basically what are the things basically going to happen? So here basically what happened basically, here the question basically was something basically happened due to some incidents basically. He basically visited that area. In that area basically something basically happened basically, and it was something basically happened that basically assume that basically we are basically not taking exact example, exact story basically, we are just taking as incidents basically happen, because there are more than 1 crore incidents basically created in this world basically. For example, I will take one example. I basically visited that place, and in that place, it was something basically I purchased, and due to that purchase, basically something basically happened in my body basically. So incidence was what came basically. I basically visited that place at this time basically, at whatever time basically, and then that person basically given the thing basically, and that person basically was connected with. That person basically has given the product of that particular company basically, and that company basically was connected with set of human needs, set of energy company basically. So that energy company was has collected this data basically, whatever product basically which was created, that product basically was collected from this all data basically. That data assume that basically one of the CRM project basically was created, and from the CRM project basically the energy basically of the human needs basically was created, and he basically consumed that human needs basically, whatever basically was created by that company basically, assume that it was any item basically of the human needs, he taken that item, and then basically something basically happened. So this was the incidence basically, but that incidence basically which was that actually converted to disease basically. So here the disease was what basically, the human needs basically which was created by the CRM company basically, they basically collected the incidence basically. That incident, on the basis of that incidence only basically the CRM project has basically generated the energy, and that energy basically was used by the company basically, that is the any company basically creating the human needs, they basically created the human needs from that incidence data only basically, and that incidence data basically was consumed by, assume that basically that was consumed by D blood group person basically, assume that basically. So in that basically, due to that D blood group basically person, the consumed data basically, due to that basically something basically happened basically. So here basically problem was about what basically, the problem was the data which was created by the groups basically. So one of the person told that basically if you are creating any software basically, and if you are creating any human needs basically, you are basically getting lots of money basically. You basically, for example, you created some object basically, per human needs object basically, it cost around 100 rupees as in that basically. So 100 crore, so 100 crore multiplied by 100, so you can just imagine basically more than 1000 crore basically is the income basically from one day only basically. So if the income is there basically, then the expense are also basically there, because you have to solve the incidents basically. It's not like that basically you are basically you are not supposed to solve the incidents. So the things was, the data was collected by on the basis of certain level of incidents basically. That incidents basically connected to the D blood group person basically, and that basically generated one error basically, and due to that basically that data basically connected to the A positive blood group owner basically, and due to that basically when the power company basically collected the data basically from the A positive blood group owner basically, then collected the data and then basically it spread it to the environment basically, that time basically it connected to that place basically from where the incidents basically from that CRM company basically has collected the data from that place basically. In that place basically some incidents has happened basically, there only basically the earthquake happened basically, there the earthquake basically happened. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this.